Hi, welcome to the Fort Wayne Area Skinny from the Upstate Alliance of Realtors, where we dig into the most recent numbers from our market. Let's start with buyers. Closed sales were up 14.7% to 2,112 units. On the seller side, new listings increased a respectable 14% to 3,149 new homes. Region-wide, seller activity has been creeping higher lately as sellers are feeling more confident with the changing landscape. An emerging pattern could be upon us. And it's a welcome change. Educated buyers continue to monitor seller activity closely in anticipation of additional choices. Inventory is still thin in areas, but the year-over-year declines have started to fade as sellers regain their footing. The number of homes for sale fell just 3% from last year to 3,560 units. Since reaching a peak in 2007, the number of active listings on the market has been trending downward. Multiple offers are still pretty common, so serious buyers need to come out swinging, because the season likely depends on it. At $112,000, the median sales price was up 1.8% compared to last year. That ties with the highest median price on record and the 7th consecutive quarter of year-over-year price gains. What's driving this, you ask? Less supply, more demand, and an improving sales mix. What's fueling the demand? Still affordable interest rates and home prices, as well as an improving labor market and rising rents. The possibility of further increases in mortgage rates and prices is also fueling buyer demand. There are now 5.8 months supply of inventory in the region. That's 12.1% less than last year at this time. It's a far cry from the nearly 9 months of supply seen in 2011. Sellers are accepting offers that are more in line with their asking prices than in the past. On average, in fact, sellers receive 93.4% of their list price at the time of sale. That's the highest ratio for any quarter since the second quarter of 2007. That's the Fort Wayne Skinny for this quarter. Check back next time for the latest.